So this video is designed to try and save you money on an underground gas tank. An underground gas tank is where you store your gas for your house. Why do you want one? You can make more space in your garden. It can be less hassle than bottles. You might already have an above ground gas tank and you might need to move it due to an extension, or it's just unsightly and you don't want it in your garden. An underground tank is a good way of fixing this problem. So you contact your various gas suppliers, so Calor, flogas, etc., and get them to come around and quote. So they offer two different services. One is just supplying the tank and connecting it up to your existing outdoor supply. The other is a full installation, and there's a hell of a lot of difference in the price of the two. So you can do your own civils, which means digging all the trenches and the holes, or you can get them to do the whole job. If you decide to do the civils yourself, you can ask the supplier to give you the notes for the trench specifications and the hole specifications as well. These were fairly undetailed, but there is stuff like depth of trench, depth of hole. You need a step going down into it so that people can stand on the top and join it up. And you also need cathodic protection, which protects the tank against corrosion. The supplier also offers the concrete pad to be delivered attached to the tank, which is really useful, and it's not that much more expensive. So onto the trench work. This has to be, I think, about a metre away from the house at a minimum. So unfortunately we had to go through a concrete path, so we diamond cut through it, busted it out, and then went down to a depth of 600mm for the gas pipework. You have to lay some sharp sand underneath the pipework, and then you have to backfill it with sharp sand and then put a marker tape across it to indicate where the gas is. After that, you're going to need to hire a digger and figure out how you're going to get rid of the soil. You need a certain amount to backfill the trench afterwards, and also around the gas tank you need to put pea shingle, and then around that you need to backfill it with soil again. So you need to judge how much you get taken away and how much you keep. Only use the digger when you know that there are no pipes underneath, and when you're figuring out how to use the digger, you attack the hole from two sides so that you can get square sides on it. We had problems with the hole collapsing because we came across some fairly silty, sandy soil and also hit the water table as well. So we pumped out the pit before the tank got delivered. I kindly had use of my dad's truck and trailer, so I carted all the soil away. This was quite time consuming, and in retrospect a grab lorry isn't that expensive, and I think they can take away about 6 tons at a go for about 140 quid, so that's well worth considering. I also luckily had somewhere to dump the soil, and there was a digger there so I could push the soil off the trailer. This was all good digger practice, and it did probably save a bit of money, but like I say, the grab lorry is probably the way to go. So when the installation guys arrived, they said that there should have been a step down into the pit all the way around. We hadn't done that. We'd just put a step in the middle on both sides. It worked, but maybe the pit may not have collapsed as much if we had done a step all the way around the outside. We ended up putting a smaller frame, which was just bigger than the concrete pad in the bottom of the pit. This kind of ensured that if there was any pit collapse, then it didn't go right into the middle, which we wanted to be flat for the concrete pad to go flat down against. So at last it's delivery day, and we've got our pea shingle and sharp sand ready. Luckily the guys turned up and they weren't jobsworths whatsoever. They had a really can-do attitude and helped us just get everything done basically. They plonked the tank in, connected it all up, and job was done. If you do get a certain amount of collapse on your pit, after the tank's gone in, it may be a good idea to shutter the area where you're going to put the pea shingle around the tank, and then backfill the pea shingle and the soil at the same time, so that you get a good divide between the pea shingle and the soil. You can either pull out the shuttering afterwards or leave it in there. It's in! It's in! Hooray!
You got it?
They will also take your old tank away and give you a credit, as it can be reused. So you also have to document where the pipework has gone in relation to the house. I found the best way of doing this was to send the drone up, take an aerial shot, and then draw it on the kind of map, and then I printed it off. Once you've done the pea shingle around the tank and the sharp sand along the trench, all that's left to do is backfill the rest of the hole with soil and put turf down. They say that there should be a slight slope up towards the turret on the tank, and that's it. So, did we save any money? The short answer is yes. Here are the costs. The digger for 2 days, £160, diesel 80, labourer £80, and 3 sheets of OSB were 45. This brings the total to around about £500, so our total saving was around £3,000. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments.